Yora Goromba. Hello, everyone. I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and express my sincere thanks to the Boonwurrung, Woiwurrung, Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations for welcoming me to their beautiful country. Thank you, Giran and Uncle Colin. I acknowledge that we stand together today on their unceded lands. I am Libby Harward, a Ngugi woman and artist of Morgumpin, known as Moreton Island in the Quandamooka. I live on the Gold Coast on the traditional lands of the Yugambeh and Bundjalung language groups. I'm an artist in the 2020 Next Wave program, a government of artists. As an artist, I speak through installation, sound experiences, films, and written verse, and I rarely make speeches. Today, I would like to share some of my contemplations from a recent art project, which is also part of Next Wave, Deadstream Dabblebung Broken Water. During wildflower season 2019, I began a journey through what is known in contemporary Western terms as the Murray-Darling Basin, the Bidgie and the Barker, with my 2 children on a project to listen to country and its people and join the call to restore traditional custodianship of our fresh waterways. The rivers, creeks, lagoons, channels, soaks, and wetlands that are currently threatened with imminent extinction. Following in the footsteps of our ancestors, we began on my ancestral country, Morgumpin in the Quandamooka, conversing with my cousin and Ngugi elder Dr. Glendon Alder and spending time with my Ngugi elder Giabellum Uncle Bob Anderson, listening to and reflecting in freshwater stories. We then took a 2,800-kilometre, 12-day road trip crossing at least 10 of the 27 Aboriginal nations that make up the Murray-Darling Basin, stopping in Gundawindi, Boggabilla, Walgett, Brewarrina, Burke, Cobar and Wilcannia, to camp, meet and listen to the freshwater stories of the traditional custodians. We joined in the Yama Nangabaka corroboree and we sung up country and we sung up the rivers. We listened to the dry riverbeds and talked and cried with custodians along the rivers as we heard stories of the over-extraction and the subsequent starvation of our freshwater systems. We sat with the dry riverbeds, where water once governed with its land and people, through an interconnected governance system that sustained life for millennia. We felt country calling out for its people, its custodianship. We together decided to join the call in whatever way we can. But we did wonder if there was any way we would ever see a return to Aboriginal custodianship and governance these ecosystems so desperately need. Surely now enough people will listen to the call and call out with us. Surely now that together we have witnessed a climate crisis and we know the terror of the devastating bushfires that swept across country. Now that we have felt the extreme drought, exacerbated by overconsumption and extraction of our water for profit and greed. Now, as we witness the killing of our waterways, our animals and ecosystems, surely now is the time to listen and be ignited with urgency to join the call and stand with Aboriginal people who have worked for decades lobbying for Aboriginal custodians to return to traditional governance of our waterways. The environmental, social, economic and cultural rights around water and country of my people have not been taken seriously. Now is the time to listen and take action. We will actually run out of time. We need to address corporate greed, overtaking, and corruption, and reinstate a governance that will see people and nature not just survive, but thrive. Double do nyana, nyalaba bina nye. The water is calling. Are we listening? Double do nyana, nyalabu bina nye. The water is calling. Are we listening? Can you hear our life-giving rain as it pours down on country into our waterways and is filtered through the earth into our aquifers? Can you hear it flowing and filtering through country? And can you hear as it is sucked up the pipes into the speculative marketplace by capitalist greed? Can you hear it pointlessly irrigating hectares of unsustainable crops that are forever thirsty for water on the world's driest continent? Let's be silent and listen as water speaks. Nyenda Nyaleba Nabu Dabona Binaba Nalaba Nyaba Gawan Milabo Ganya. Can you hear our water, our lifeblood, crying for return to ancient ways? Futurists such as Buckminster Fuller have argued that you never change things by fighting against the existing reality. To change something, you need to build a new model, and that makes the old model obsolete. Imagine our country nurtured. Imagine every part of this land, water, sky, country is somebody's responsibility and is cared for. Imagine your identity is embedded within. Imagine you do not feel alone in the world because you know deeply you are interrelated to all living things. Imagine this is your law, and you can trust this as it will never change. Imagine that sustainability principles are fundamental to culture and integral to all our daily affairs. Imagine we took seriously our responsibility to care for the welfare of all visitors and guests on our country, and we practice responsibility for their upholding these sustainable principles. Imagine a society that listened with and to the environment, where the land and how we treat it comes first, so that we are always provided for. Imagine you know where you belong and what you are responsible for, and you know, respect, and collaborate with your neighbour's responsibilities and beliefs, even though they are different from your own. Imagine we could disagree with our neighbour, but we could never allow them to go hungry. Imagine you had a community to hold counsel when relationships between people and the environment and people go wrong. Imagine this council would sit until a mutual agreement was reached and everyone was satisfied. Imagine if we made decisions on a local level based on our own deep understanding of our place within it. Imagine if every decision was based on long-term visions from knowledge that extends back further into the past than we can even think into the future. So, in reply to Buckminster Fuller, I would say we are lucky because we don't have to build a new model for our environmental management, because this model, we would imagine, already exists. And prior to colonisation, it served us for millennia. This model, Aboriginal governance, is what needs to be reinstated because our collective survival as humanity depends on it. Thank you.